NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro cars are ready to tackle Bristol. World welcomes you to Thunder Valley. Tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway, it's the Pep Boys 200 as the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series get ready for event number 8 of 1997. Well, boy, the weather, folks, has been hot and humid. The weather is holding right at 79 degrees, but the humidity has been fluctuating all day, and that is so tough on these drivers on a high bank racetrack. Hello, everyone. I'm Ray Dunlap, and welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. You know, this racetrack is very similar to the tracks that many of these drivers run all throughout the season, but it's a concrete racing surface, and it's very, very hard to keep your focus for 200 racing laps. Let's take a look at the points now. Jeff Foltz has a 2-point lead over Mike Harmon. Foltz, a former winner this season, but Harmon and Hal Goodson have yet to win in 1997. That may be somewhat of a surprise. Well, Phil Parsons joins me in the broadcast booth today. And Phil, this race is such a big event for these guys. There's a lot of people here watching.
Well, there really is. And we've had 7 different winners in 7 races this year. We've got one guy wanting to make it 8, the pole sitter, Mike Cope. It's his first race this year. He's the all-time winningest driver in this series. This is his first race back this year. He's been trying to break into the truck series. He's decided to come back here and run Bristol, and he's on the pole, so we got to watch him. We also got to go back all the way to 30th position and look for a guy named Rich Bickle. On a busman's holiday, he's doing double duty this weekend. He's a former winner in this series, and we have to look for him to go frontwards.
Well, Bickle could be strong, and keep your eye on Stephen Christian. He burned up his primary car and had to go to a backup. Well, one driver that thinks he's got a pretty good shot at making it 8 different winners is standing by with Larry Rice.
That's right. Mike Cope has not been in one of these cars all year long. He gets right in and wins the pole right away. How do you do that? How do you get in the first time and come back and be fast time?
Well, we've done this for about 7 years with the Slim Jim series, so it wasn't that bad. I'd much rather be in the trucks, but due to circumstances out of our control, we couldn't do it this weekend. But we come here, got a good clean lap. My crew put this car together in 2 days, and that says a lot for the championship caliber bunch of guys they are. So my hat's off to them, and we'll just see what happens from here.
He thinks he's got a great chance, and he's ready to go. Back up to you, Ray.
Well, we'll find out if it's going to be Mike Cope and Victory Lane coming up. Just come back after this commercial break, and we'll start the Pep Boys 200.
A fuel-injected 90-degree V-twin, an exotic all-aluminum truss frame, and a rear suspension so advanced it's patented. Introducing the Suzuki TL1000S, a sport bike with such forward thinking, the rest of the world seems backwards.
I've got 3 vehicles that I've got it in.
Motorcycles are performance. Split fire spark plugs are performance.
Really delivered the power that I was looking for.
Just great.
Definitely just a lot better plugs.
If it doesn't meet your expectations, you get your money back.
Engine builders are a different breed. A racing engine is a masterpiece. Anyone that has a Robert Yates engine under the hood, man, they feel like they're one up on anybody. Nothing more satisfying than having the engine do its job. He's the innovator, no question. He can make them fast and make them last.
Andretti and Yates rely on the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
He's a real beauty, Robert.
Got a driver, Mario.
IndyCar racing, where the thoroughbreds of motorsports go head-to-head in a battle of science and sweat, where high-tech meets high-speed, and where all the horsepower in the world doesn't mean a thing if you can't get out of the pits. But while every race begins with a green flag, for Scott Pruitt and Patrick Racing, it starts with something else. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. Power you can depend on.
To be or not to be?
You don't see this every day.
That's the question.
But you do see Wendy's 99-cent super value menu every day with our junior bacon cheeseburger with 2 strips of bacon, and it's always 99 cents.
Whether 'tis noble. Learn.
Tonight's Pep Boys 200 is being brought to you by Suzuki and your Suzuki motorcycles and ATV dealers. They've got the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. Welcome back to Bristol. Bristol, folks, ready to go racing here tonight. The Slim Jim All-Pro Series and the Pep Boys 200. Let's take a look right now at our Suzuki starting grid. On the pole, 121 miles an hour, Mike Cope. Derek Gilchrist in the Fairfield Inns car. On the outside pole, then a former winner from this season, Nipper Alsop, and Casey Atwood starts fourth.
Yeah, we've got a great bunch of cars out here. We've got, as we mentioned earlier, we've got Rich Bickle all the way back in 30th position there, and we've got some real good cars. We've got Bobby Hamilton Jr. starting back in 34th. He's actually using a backup car because he crashed his car.
So is Conrad Burr. Those cars using a provisional. Now here is Wayne Anderson in the Porter Cable, number 25. Anderson, a former winner this season. Here comes the green. Mike Cope with a good jump. Derek Gilchrist running side by side with Nipper Alsop down to turn one in contact.
Much as we saw last night, we had two cars trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack.
Last night here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, it was the Nascar Goodies Dash Series, and there was a lot of spins, a lot of action. Hopefully we won't be seeing that tonight. Ron Young making a move.
What a terrific jump Mike Cope got on the start. I'll tell you, they gave one to go, and I'm not sure the whole field knew that because it was really a haggard start.
One car spinning over in turn number one. Car number 31 gets it sideways. That's Rick Miller, and he is back underway, but the yellow flag is out.
It may give the guys that got caught sleeping on the start a chance to regroup here because Mike Cope had about a 10-car length lead by the time they got to the start-finish line.
He sure did. Now, folks, one car about to head to the pit area is the number 33. That's Conrad Burr. We mentioned him, who he used a provisional to get in this race. He borrowed a race car from Jeff Foltz, and he doesn't want to tear that car up. He just needed to make the start to get his points, so he's on his way to the pits. Pace cars coming onto the field, and here's the start. I think you're right, Phil. A good jump for Cope.
Yeah, you look at the top of the screen, though. You've got these three cars that broke out, and the rest of the cars are just hanging back there. Then the two cars behind Mike Cope got together trying to get to the same line, and that allowed Mike to even get further ahead.
Sure did. Well, we'll have a complete restart here as we have gotten 3 laps under the belt, but Rick Miller slides it sideways in turn number 1. So we'll see if the field can be prepared a little bit better as Mike Cope gets that Penrose number 58 fired up right off the bat here. That car sitting on pit road there.
Oh, that's Rich Bickle.
Oh, my goodness. Bickle on the pit road already after starting 30th in the field today. They were very concerned that he wouldn't even make it in the race. They went second round qualifying. Take a look at your in-car cameras today. The Janny King car, that is the number 14 of Larry Raines. He'll be carrying a camera for us today. We'll see a lot of action as these cars traverse the 33-degree banking in the turns here at Bristol. The Porter Cable car is Wayne Anderson, number 25. Anderson, the winner of the last race in this series at Myrtle Beach. He'll have a camera for us all day long. And how about the Greased Lightning cleaner car? That's Ken Alexander. His number is 03, and he's far back in the pack, so I'm sure we'll see some action from that shot.
Anytime you have a race at Bristol, you see some action. Right?
Big crowd on hand tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway watching the Slim Jim All-Pro Series. They are getting relined up and ready to go.
Yeah, that's actually the 33 car, I think. That is the car that had to use a provisional, and he borrowed a car, Conrad Burr. He borrowed one of Jeff Foltz's cars.
Right.
Just allowed him to start the race. So I'm sure it was prearranged that he just would run a lap or two.
Don't want to take a chance. No doubt about that. Well, Conrad Burr came into the race tonight 14th in the points, so he definitely needed to make the start to get some finish points at the end of the night tonight. G.I. Joe's Budweiser 200 will come your way tomorrow afternoon for the CART PPG IndyCar Series. This is the 9th race of a 17-race schedule. Alex Zanardi, the defending champion of the race. You can watch it on ESPN tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern.
We're getting set for a start, Ray. We've got one to go. We've got about a half a lap before the green. This is Larry Raines' car, the 14 car. We have a look from his car. Here's Wayne Anderson. We're still in Larry Raines' car in the 14 car. We're getting ready for a restart.
Yeah, so they're single file now, so this will be a different look to the restart. Cope at the head of the pack, and he gets another great start on Nipper Alsop.
That's the advantage that he has for being the leader on a restart. Actually, the leader restarts the race. The flagman starts the start of the race, but the leader starts the restart.
Wayne Anderson going to the high side in the Porter Cable car. He gets around the number 16 of Goodson, but some slower cars in front of him. Here they come down the front straightaway.
You know, that'll make for some real good racing if the cars can pass on the outside. We talked about it last night, how difficult it is to pass on the outside. So it bodes well for this show if we can get some passing on the outside.
Look how fast this racetrack is, Bill. Unbelievable the amount of G-force that's applied to the drivers here.
I was talking to Mike Cope. You know, these cars are running restrictor plate because they felt like the cars were too fast.
Battle for 10th right here. Anderson in the 25 in the back as they line up to try to go around the number 12 car of John Covan. Too wide racing. Looks like we are going to have an outside groove tonight, Bill.
Sure does. Sure does. Wayne Anderson was able to make the outside groove work really well there.
2x2 racing here at Bristol. Goodson stuck to the outside. And folks, Hal Goodson is a great short track racer and somewhat of a surprise to everyone that he has yet to win in 1997. Back to the lead right now, Mike Cope, and as Phil told you at the top of the show, his first race of 1997. And look here, as Ron Young is putting the pressure on Derek Gilchrist, both of these drivers former winners in 1997. They are really having a battle back there for second place. This racetrack, Phil, is a lot like Salem, Indiana, and Winchester Speedway, being high-banked and a half mile, and that's where Ron Young won the race at Salem, so he should be strong tonight.
Yeah, very similar from the people I've talked to. I've never run Salem myself, but they say it's a very similar racetrack. But this one's white, and those are black.
Yeah, concrete and asphalt are definitely different surfaces, and how the cars react, totally different here at Bristol.
You know, Nipper Alsop is running in second position right now in the 74 car. His father was Bill Alsop, who was an IndyCar driver for many years, and I think he actually drove for Roger Penske at one time.
Well, he's down in the pit area, giving some support to Nipper this evening. Got a battle right here is the 43 car. 48, excuse me. I guess the 43 has already gone to the pit area. That's Bobby Hamilton Jr., but that is the 48 car. So, excuse me, that's the surfer dude. John Monroe from California. Having a good run tonight here. Moved up 2 positions already.
That's Casey Atwood in the 3 car. It's running in 6th position right behind him.
Well, we talked about it at the top of the show, and folks, I cannot tell you how competitive this series is anymore than to tell you there have been 7 winners in 7 different races. We've got a great battle going on here tonight. Cars all over the racetrack racing for positions. Sean Monroe now making a move. And back to the lead. Mike Cope really having it pretty easy out front. So Mike Cope is your leader at lap 19 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll take a quick break and come back with more racing in the Pep Boys 200.
Are you ready for more action, more danger, more impact? Well, your wait is over. The hottest, most intense, extreme Crash Impact of Crash Impact 2. 70 minutes of explosive, heart-stopping crash action. You have to see to believe. All new crashes from Superbikes, Harley Series, drag racing, stock cars, sprint cars, Supercross, Indy cars, flat track, and more. All jam-packed on 2 tapes for only $19.95. Order now and get absolutely free the new Extreme Sports Virtual Reality, featuring insane extreme sports from around the world like you've never seen before. You'll get the all-new Crash Impact 2, plus the Extreme Sports Video free. 3 tapes that'll blow you away. Guaranteed or your money back.
To order, call 1-800-337-8668. That's 1-800-337-8668. Or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
It may not be the life many of you would choose.
Hanging out in hotel lobbies.
Always following the teams.
Just hoping to meet a power forward, blank guard.
Dominant center with good passing skills.
We know what you call us.
Groupies.
Pretty boys.
Boy toys.
Stud muffins.
Bimbos.
Man meat.
Please don't judge us too harshly, because whatever we do,
We do out of love.
love.
Love of basketball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Los Angeles, Utah, Monday at 7:30.
And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway for the Pep Boys 200. Mike Cope having it pretty easy out front tonight here on his way down the backstretch heading for turn number 3. And he is going to have a lot of lap traffic coming up here shortly. Derek Gilchrist running second in the Fairfield in-car. Then it was Ron Young. See here, Bobby Gill moved up to 7th. Scott Sutherland, a winner this season, in 11th. Carl Long in the 15th car, moving up there to 14th position.
There's your point leader in 17th position.
Rich Bickle back in 24th. Steve Allison. And look at this. Stephen Christian in the 0 car is running 30th. And folks, he is about to get lapped by our leader, believe it or not. 27 car, Derek Gilchrist running second, getting some pressure now from Ron Young.
They actually passed Niparalsip while we were away at break, the second, third place cars.
Gilchrist in the number 27 car. He hails from Raleigh, North Carolina. Pretty happy about this sponsorship on this car, hoping to have a good season in 1997. He's had a couple of tough breaks, got wiped out on the very first lap at I-70 Speedway. Nothing to do with his fault. He just got caught up in an accident, and those kind of things really hurt you in the points race.
We've got the leader, Mike Cope, now on some heavy traffic. He's already put several cars a lap down, and now he's got some real heavy traffic. Now, at Bristol, where do you go when the cars are side by side from you? Now, this racetrack is not wide enough for 3 wide.
No doubt about it. Scott Kilby in the number 45 on the outside there, as we saw the number 31 of Rick Miller making a move to the inside. But as I said, folks, just 2 cars ahead of that is Stephen Christian in the Bell South number 0, and he is fighting for his life to try to stay ahead of those lap cars. Here goes Cope to the outside, making a move. He's on the outside of Keith White, and he's going to put him a lap down very early tonight.
Okay, he just went by Scott Kilby in the 45 car. He does a real good job in my area, near my home in Hickory and places like that. Wins a lot of races, trying to break into a touring division. He's doing a good job, but he got a lap down now. But if he hangs in there all night, he should have a good finish. We got
trouble on the front stretch as Stephen Christian gets sideways, and our in-car camera of Ken Anderson contact there, and heavy contact for the Bell South Mobility number 0. We just talked about Stephen Christian, how he was trying so hard to stay on the lead lap. They burn up a race car in practice after a fuel fitting busted loose and totally destroyed that race car, and he's in trouble again tonight.
Yeah, he's obviously had a problem. It looks like he busted the radiator. There's a bunch of fluid left down from where the car drove away from.
Taking a look from our speed shot at what happened.
He got together. Looks like maybe the 0 got in the back of the 0-3 and turned him around. And unfortunately, there was nowhere for Stephen Christian to go once the 0-3 got sideways.
And boy, Phil, last night here we saw how little contact it actually takes to get a car sent around sideways. And Christian in trouble tonight here at Bristol.
Severe damage on the 0 car. This could be terminal, or at the very least, he's going to have to change the radiator, I believe. But looks like he's pulling behind the wall right now.
Oh boy, he is 8th in the points right now. He's run all the races this season, but it looks like they may have a DNF tonight here at Bristol.
Hey, what's difficult when you have a big field like this, we started 36 cars, you have a field like this, and you have trouble early, it just kills you in the points race. If you start 24 cars, 28 cars, and you have trouble fairly early, you finish 20th, it doesn't hurt that bad. But when he's looking at finishing 30th or 32nd, it really puts a dent in the old points race.
Well, the last race was at Myrtle Beach for this series, and Christian finished second behind Wayne Anderson. But tonight, I don't think he's going to be that lucky.
Here's a shot from Ken Alexander's car. This is real time from his in-car camera. There he got a little bit, looked like he got a little bit of help.
He was on and off the throttle there, yeah, Bill, so I'm wondering if Alexander may have been having a problem.
He may have been loose, so that's why the 0 car may have just run up on him so fast.
Well, Larry Rice is standing by with the crew chief for Stephen Christian. Larry, take it away.
This is Sammy Shumate. Sammy, what did he say on the radio?
The car got off loose with him right coming out of the corner there, and he tapped Ken in the back. They didn't mean to. So just turned them both there, you know. We're just trying to work our way back up through there in the Bell South Chevrolet. And we've had a streak of bad luck here. If we get the monkey off our back, we'll be back up front.
Okay. They're going to bring it in and try to work on it, but they got to get it around here first.
So the big question is, can Stephen Christian fix the Bell South car and get back in the race? We'll find out when we come back to the Pep Boys 200 at Bristol.
We made the first battery to start the automobile. the first to handle the moon's sub-zero temperatures, and today, the extreme demands of professional racing. Now, Exide's put all this experience into a battery so advanced, it's the official battery of NASCAR. Introducing the Exide NASCAR Select. It's specially designed and built to combat vibration and extreme temperature. So it's built to survive those grueling trips you'll be taking. The Exide NASCAR Select, making history again.
Let's go where they make this stuff.
Well, this beer has a right amount of enzymatic action.
This board here shows the process.
Has a nice body in it.
So this guy's like the air traffic controller to beers.
Look at that head on this beer. Wow.
Get out of the way, George. I'm going in.
There's not proven here.
I'm going in, George.
That is really smooth.
It takes 30 days from here to make beer.
I'm serious.
30 days?
I got 30 days.
You got a new brewmaster now.
The Burger Master. New Gold Premium Beer.
Being a WNBA groupie, you're not just a piece of meat. Nice game. But appearance is important. When I was a kid, I used to love Clemente, but this is way different than that.
Back at Thunder Valley on board with Ken Alexander in the Greased Lightning car, who was involved in our very last caution. He is back out on the racetrack. Well, folks, tomorrow, ESPN2 will present a live 1-hour special of NASCAR Today from the brand new California Motor Speedway. Dave Despain and company will give you all the inside information before the green flag drops. Check out the pre-race show tomorrow on ESPN2. On board with Wayne Anderson in the Porter cable car. Anderson, kind of an interesting story this year, Phil. He went to New Hampshire to try to qualify for the Busch race, and he got stuck out there, wasn't able to make it back to Greenville Pickens, but they wanted to stay in the points chase. So his dad, Dick Anderson, got in the race car, went out, ran a couple laps. He said, man, this car is so good, I'm going to stay in it. Guess what?
Won the race.
Yes, he did.
not a bad substitute. Let's go quickly down to Larry Rice.
Well, we're down here in the pits. Casey, can you tell us what's wrong?
Well, we got up to about 280. It was running real hot and bring it in. The valve cover gasket was blown or something. It was running too hot. We had to bring it in. It's unfortunate. We had a good run going.
You're just running too hot, and there's a little oil on the racetrack, so they got to fix that before they go back out, back upstairs.
Well, he's talking about Casey Atwood in car number 3. And he was running very well, but when the motor gets hot, you got to take her in, and he's going to be done for the day. His first start in 1997.
We had a little 3 wide action back there in turn 4.
You're not supposed to do that.
I'm not sure how they got by with that, but they did.
Here's a battle for second, shaping up good as Ron Young trying to make the move on the inside of Derek Gilchrist, and he has got the position. Coming off the straightaway, he regains second position.
It was good move. He got a little run on him, got up inside, got position. No matter what, the inside line is still the preferred line.
Southern Pipe, the sponsor on Ron Young's car, and as we said, he's a winner in 1997 at Salem Speedway, so he loves these high-banked and very fast half miles. So Ron Young running very well. The big question now is, can he catch up to Mike Cope, because Cope is really stretching out his lead. There's Cope in the Penrose car. He is entering turn number 1, folks, right now, and through the center of the turn, as the other drivers are just now approaching the turn. So he's got a very good race car here at Bristol.
He's got almost a full straightaway lead right now. But now, in all fairness, when Ron Young was trying to get by Derek Gilchrist, that allowed Mike Cope to get that little lead. When they run side by side like that, it slows down both cars.
No question about it. And when those cars were running side by side, there was a lot of cars in a big groove back there. Battle for 12th right here on the track. Hal Goodson in the number 16 car fighting his way through traffic as he goes to the outside of the number 45 of Scott Kilby. So Kilby's car not working quite as well as he would like.
That's your battle for 11th right there, the 16 car of Hal Goodson. The 15 car.
The number car along. Yeah, the 14 of Larry Raines. We've got an in-car with him, so we'll keep our eye on Raines and see if he is able to continue to go through the traffic. And here we are on board the Janny King roof cam. Nice to see roof cams, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it is. We can't run them anymore.
Now they bring you some great pictures.
Cars are bouncing around quite a bit, it looks like, from this in-car camera.
The NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. They always put on a great show here at Thunder Valley.
pretty good race back here for 11th position.
No doubt about it.
Larry Raines trying to get underneath Carl Long.
Well, this is the 4th event for this series here at Bristol, and there have been 3 different winners in the races. Ron Barfield won back in 1994, then it was Toby Porter and Rick Crawford. Now, Crawford has left the Slim Jim All-Pro Series and moved up to the Craftsman Truck Division, trying to make his name over there with the superstars of truck racing.
We've got the 30 car, looks like, has joined that battle, too. Jeff Holtz, this point leader.
Carl Long in the number 15, all mixed up in this battle. And here comes Foltz from Milford, Ohio in the number 30. He is moving up to try to see if he can make his way around the number 14 car of Larry Raines.
We noticed, looked like the 14 car Larry Raines motion for Jeff Holtz to go on by.
Yeah, and I think the drivers are pretty good about that in this division. If they know their car's a little bit loose, they'll let you come on by. And right now, that is happening to the leader. Mike Cope is making his way around Dan Matthews. Courtesy goes a long way in this type of a race. And remember, folks, this is a 200-lap race. So you got to keep the car underneath you. Keep your tires on here at Bristol. That is always a big battle.
There's Ken Alexander in the Grease Lightning car. He was just put down another lap by the leader, Mike Cope. Mike Cope has led all 53 laps so far.
Saw Steve Mendenhall there in the number 21 car. Mendenhall had to fight to make it in this race, go second round qualifying in the Terminal Trucking entry. Well, there have been 8 races in the 1997 season. This is the 9th event, and Mike Cope is your leader at the Pep Boys 200. We'll be right back.
In Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, people drive for miles around just to see Don Ballard. Because when it comes to car repair, well, there's not much he can't fix. You see, Don's the type of guy who believes that doing a job right and saving money go hand in hand. So he begins each job with a trip to AutoZone. Sure, it's a 20-mile drive. There are other parts stores along the way. But for Don, when it comes to getting the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
In racing, the engine is everything.
What? It's the driver.
A driver will never see a finish line without a great engine.
The greatest engine will never see a victory lap without a great driver.
At least they agree on Haviland Formula 3 motor oil, the same oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
The engine's the first thing with the finish line.
Not in Indy cars.
I've got 3 vehicles that I've got it in.
Motorcycles are performance. Split fire spark plugs are performance.
Really delivered the power that I was looking for.
Just great.
Definitely just a lot better plug. If it doesn't meet your expectations, you get your money back.
Porter cable belt sanders are used by the world's foremost woodworkers. Our routers are found in fine cabinet shops everywhere. The frame saw is the lightest, most powerful circular saw available, and our cordless drills have power to spare. Fact is, Porter Cable builds the perfect tool for any woodworking project. And some projects that hardly involve wood at all. Porter Cable Power Tools, when you're truly passionate about your work.
ESPN News. Peterson, he doesn't even know what ESPN is. I was like, you watch ESPN News? He was like, what? He doesn't even know what ESPN stands for. ESPN stands for it's like sports in Spanish, right?
2x2 scrambles all over the racetrack here in the Pep Boys 200 NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series. And Mike Cope is your leader. He has been right from the green flag of this race. Moving back through the pack a little bit, we see the number 51 car of Bobby Gill, a 10-time winner in this series.
Yeah, Bobby Gill's already moved up to 5th. He started 9th, but we've got a real good battle from 2nd through 6th. It was right there together. Traffic is strung them out a little bit, but they're still 3rd through 6th, bumper to bumper to bumper.
Now, Bobby Gill in the number 51 there is moving up on Sean Monroe in the number 48. Monroe driving a race car that is owned by Ron Hornaday, and he is putting on a great show tonight here at Bristol.
We've got Scott Walters in the 37 car right on by the Gills bumper, too, so it's a good three-way battle right now.
In last year's race here at Bristol, Sean Monroe finished 5th, so he likes this racetrack. He's in the top 5 right now, and Bobby Gill is going to try to put some pressure on the Surfer dude.
I'll tell you that with the pace that Mike Cope's setting, these guys are going to have to, if you come on a car and he's holding you up, you're going to have to go on by because Mike Cope is going to put a lot of cars a lap down.
No question about that. He is really fast tonight here at Bristol. Scotty Walters moving up there in the pack right there. We see him in the number 37 car. Timberwolf, a brand new sponsorship for Scotty Walters. Driver who has done so well at tracks like Salem and Winchester.
I think that car is owned by the same fella, Clarence Brewer, that owns Mark Green's car that races in the Busch Series.
Yep, sure is.
Didn't I read where they're going to run some truck races? David Green's going to run the car some, and I believe Scott Walters is going to run the car some.
Well, one of the nice things, Phil, about this series is the fact that they run at so many different kind of racetracks, and it gives these drivers a great deal of experience. I'll tell you, racing here at Bristol is like nothing else, and to run 200 laps here, these guys will all be beat when this race is over.
We're back in Larry Rain's car. He's still trying to get by Hal Goodson, looks like.
Goodson up there.
It's actually the 15-car car along, and then Hal Goodson is the blue car in front of them.
And you see Goodson taking a different line, going much higher as Carl Long tries to take the low road there as they go through the center of the turn, and Long is going to make it work, but he gets the car sideways. Boy, great job of driving. He starts to drift up, and I'm wondering if there's a problem with Hal Goodson's car.
Larry Rain sits there and sits there and said if he can just get underneath them, we can both go.
Trouble on the front stretch. The number 04 car has spun. That's Brian Ball from Cosby, Tennessee, and he made contact with the wall on the front stretch, so the yellow is out for the 3rd time tonight here at Bristol.
I'm not sure what happened. He was the only car involved in the wreck. I don't know if he had any help prior to spinning or not.
Doesn't look like that car will be handling too good right now, do you think?
No, it sure doesn't. Tough break for him.
So the caution is out for the 3rd time tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And folks, the leader is on pit road. Here comes Mike Cope. Let's go down to Larry Rice, who's standing right there.
Well, they're going to come in and change 2 right side tires. They're going to come in short on fuel. That means they're going to put the fuel in now, hoping that they can gain track position by going back out on the racetrack and not having to stop again. So they're going to make the tire change, add the fuel, and hope that when everybody else makes their stop later, they'll be back out front once again. They're now going to come around and take the left side tires. It looks like they're going to take left side tires. It took a little longer than they had hoped to do those right side tires. They had a little trouble with one of the tires over there. They're going to have to hurry or they're going to lose a lap. They do have the left side tires on. The guy on the left rear having a little trouble. They're just about to lose a lap. There he goes though. He made it back out barely.
So Cope will just get out ahead of the pace car, and boy, that was close. And Hank Parker Jr. just makes it out of the pit road ahead of the pace car to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think Hank was the last car in the lead lap.
Take a look at what happened here. He was all by himself there, Phil. The car just gets a bit sideways.
No, there was a black car behind him. I'm not sure of the number.
The Batmobile right behind him. I couldn't see that car. It was like a stealth bomber.
Yeah, there's the tail end of it. He's already got into the inside wall slightly. Tough break for him.
It appears that they may have broken the panhard bar on the back of that car, as we see the tires were wobbling all around the back. So Ron Young is up front now on the fact that the leader has gone to the pits. Mike Cope will get back out and charge his way through the pack. Ron Young will be your leader, and we'll be back with more racing from Bristol after this.
For years, ESPN has been working to improve sports for the fan.
With this new helmet, ESPN commentators can interview a batter while he's at the plate. Slugger Mickey Mantle demonstrates.
Hey, Mick. Can you hear us, Mick? Is this distracting?
Boycotted by players, the helmet did lead to a breakthrough in coverage for all sports. ESPN Sports Zone, with Peter Gammon's baseball column, player profiles, everything you need to be a better fan. ESPN Sports Zone, technology for you.
Is it getting hot? Too hot? Don't just sit there and suffer. Run to your phone and call this hotline now for Sears installed central air conditioning. Act now so you can get energy-efficient central air conditioning from Sears installed fast. Convenient financing is available, so don't sweat it. Call now and get immediate relief from the reliable professionals at Sears, the most trusted name around the house.
We're up close with the Queen of England and Your Majesty as MLS spokesperson. Is modesty an issue in the locker room?
No, not really, Chris. No, and I'll tell you why. Because one keeps one's eyes focused up. It's all about eye contact. That's where the connection is made between the spokesperson, oneself, and the athlete. Now, if one were to let one's eyes drift downward, well, then we've lost that connection, haven't we? Yes, the bond is clearly gone.
Yes, well, okay, well, thank you for being with us, and we'll be right back with Mike Tomczak.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. The cars have lined up 2 by 2 as we're ready to go back to green flag racing. You're on board there with the 03 of Ken Alexander. He is right up front, but a lap down. The car you see on the outside is the 4 car of Ron Young. He is now our new leader.
Here's Larry Raines' car. Green flag's out.
Green flag is out. Ron Young gets a good jump down the front straightaway. Takes him about a lap to get these cars up to speed here with these restrictor plates on the All-Pro car.
I'll tell you, it'll be interesting to see how the strategy of Mike Cope, and once Mike Cope came in, then several of the other front runners came in. Nipper also came in, Hal Goodson came in, and it'll be interesting to see. Here we see Mike Cope right now. As dominant as he was early on, we'll see how quickly he can move his way through this traffic.
He's got heavy traffic right in front of him. Cope, with fresh tires on, will be much faster in his lap times. But how long will it take him to get to the front? That is the big question.
The big dilemma in whether to pit early like that or not is a place like Bristol. To get behind, know that you're behind all this traffic. They're going to be lap cars, people running side by side. You don't want to get caught up in somebody else's accident. So that's the thing you have to struggle with as to whether to do it or not. If it works, if Mike Cope can cleanly get through the field, then he's going to have an advantage on all these guys that didn't pit.
So Cope all the way back to 17th and now climbing his way forward, moved up to 11th. Right now, the leader is Ron Young in the 4 car. Young has really stretched it out on Derek Gilchrist in the number 27. Stephen Howard in the number 19 car right behind him, but not right behind him on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's showing 2 laps down.
2 laps down. So that car is not third, folks, but Sean Monroe in the 48 car would be listed in 3rd position.
We've got Bobby Gill now in the 51 car that has moved up to 4th position. And Wayne Anderson now has moved his way all the way up to 5th position.
So pit strategy factor tonight here at Bristol. You talk to these drivers before the race starts, and they'll tell you, oh, we're going to go 100 laps. We got to before we come in and change tires. But Mike Cope pulled a fast one tonight, came in way earlier than that. Here's a battle for 3rd as Sean Monroe in the number 48 car back to the leader. And Hal Goodson, the number 16 car, is on his way to the pits. And folks, this is under green flag, and that is going to be devastating to Hal Goodson. Sean Monroe racing with the number 51 of Bobby Gill.
They jacked the car up under the rear end. I'm not sure, he may have had a Panhard bar problem or something like that. I tell you, it seems like these 2 cars have raced from the drop of the green flag every lap. And we're some 83 laps into the race, and they've been racing every lap.
Well, Bobby Gill, as we mentioned, a 10-time winner in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series, but has not got a victory in 1997. And we're being told that the black flag was given to Hal Goodson, so the NASCAR officials up in the tower definitely saw a problem with the number 16, and he sits on pit road right now, and this is really going to hurt Goodson. 3rd in the points coming into tonight's race. Without a victory, but run very strong all season long. 4 top 10 finishes, but not tonight.
I look at Bobby Gill, and it seems like, well, he's got a much better car if he could just get by him. Then Sean Monroe will open up a little distance.
As we mentioned earlier, Monroe driving for Ron Hornaday, so that's a pretty good car owner to have, don't you think?
He knows how to get around this racetrack, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. The NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series coming to you here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Glad you could join us tonight, folks. I love short track racing, and it just doesn't get any better than the racing they put on right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And what a crowd on hand this evening to watch the All-Pro division. Ron Young now getting a little bit of that traffic that we saw Mike Cope have to deal with a little bit earlier, moving up on the number 45 of Scott Kilby. So again, Kilby down to the inside as Ron Young is picking them off one by one. Young, your leader, Derek Gilchrist, Sean Monroe, Bobby Gill, and Wayne Anderson, your top 5.
See Mike Cope in the 58 car already back up to 10th. So I'll tell you, I believe his strategy is going to play off. Again, if he can get through this traffic cleanly, his strategy is going to pay off in the long run.
Now, will he pit again, though, Phil, just to get fuel, or can he make it?
I would think that he can make it from here. They have a 22-gallon fuel cell just like the Busch cars and the trucks and the Winston Cup cars. They should be able to run close to 200 laps. But I'm sure he wanted to get those right side tires changed. I know they're allowed to change 4 tires, so he may feel like his left side tires are going to run the whole race and not worry about it. Well, actually, he got 4 tires.
Yeah,
that's right. He had trouble on the right side, but he did get his 4 tires. So that's all the tires he's allowed for the race. So he's played his hand out, and I believe it's going to work for him.
Now the rules in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series very similar to Winston Cup racing. You can come in and pit 7 men over the wall and all that. But as you mentioned, Phil, they just have 8 tires to run the race on, and if they have a problem and decide to try to put on more tires at the end of the race, they get a 2-lap penalty. So they don't want to do that. Ron Young is your leader here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Folks enjoying a great night of racing here in the Pep Boys 200.
My research proves that Purolator's new Pure 1 is the perfect oil filter, collecting 96% of all contaminants. Pure 1 has more pleats for superior performance and a silicone anti-drainback valve for additional protection at startup.
And you don't need to be a rocket scientist to tell the difference.
Wow. Viper armed. Protected by Viper. Stand back.
Viper, no one dares come close.
Recently, an independent group of brewmasters and beer experts conducted a tasting of just about every major beer in the country. For 4 months, they sampled regular and ice beers for character, flavor, and overall quality. And in the end, the judges named one beer the best tasting beer in America, Old Milwaukee. So when you want the best tasting beer, now you know where to turn. Old Milwaukee.
What are we doing after the game?
Winaldo ordered the MLS ESPN shootout.
That's up to 90 extra games. Games you can't see any other way. Winaldo's plays tonight. I'll bring chips.
The 97 MLS ESPN shootout, $69 up to 90 extra regular season and playoff games from all over the country. Call your cable operator, DirecTV.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Ron Young is your leader, and a car has spun over off of turn number 2, and the officials are keeping their eye on it to see whether they should throw the yellow, and he has made it off the racetrack. The number 98 of Sean Studer, the old El Paso Mexican-style foods car, spun, but no yellow.
We're very fortunate that he kept the thing down off the racetrack. But I saw that happen right around the leader. Here's a replay.
You see the leader is right behind him. That's Ron Young in the 4 car.
Looks like might have been a little bit of contact there. Let's look at it from another angle. Here's another angle. Yeah, I'll tell you, 2 cars got side by side in front of them, and it looks like Ron Young just came up on him a little bit too quick, and just touched him and got him around. Caution flag's out.
The yellow flag is out once again here at Bristol. Ron Young, your leader, and a car was very slow going down the front straightaway and was not able to make it into the pit, so that brings out our 4th caution at lap 101. Now, Phil, does Ron Young go in for his fuel stop and tire change right now? Boy, giving up that lead's tough.
Well, I think if he's planning on doing it, he's going to do it. If he's planning on stopping, he's going to stop right now. Now, it's something we need to check with Larry on. He may be planning on running this race without a pit stop. These cars ought to be able to get good enough fuel mileage. It's only a 106-mile race to run all the way.
Yeah,
now,
but can you do that with not having fresh tires?
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, we'll have to watch and see. Now, here he comes. Yeah.
So Ron Young, your leader, is headed to the pits right now in the Southern Pipe car, number 4, and Larry Rice is standing by.
Well, the pit signal's out. The men are across the wall. They're out there on the right side tires. They're going to take fuel and at least 2 right side tires. I don't see any left side tires out there. But they told me a while ago that they were planning on making this pit stop all along. They did not think they wanted to make the whole race without a pit stop. They wanted to have fresh tires. Now they're coming around to the left side. They are going to change all 4 tires. They got the left side up. It looks like they're going to get this done in plenty of time. The right rear hanger, the left rear hangs up a little bit. Had a little trouble getting it off. It's off. It's back on. All they have to do is tighten the right or the left rear, and they'll be going back out. It's a little longer than they wanted, but they made it out in plenty of time. Back upstairs.
Well, they lost a couple positions there, Phil, as the Sean Monroe car beat him out of the pits.
Yeah, I was watching the Sean Monroe car. He only changed 2 tires, so that's why he beat him out.
And here's what happened to Ron Young, your leader, just before the caution came out. You see him going down into the center of the turn, and he gets really sideways as he was about to put a lap on Nipper also. Got that car very sideways, so I think it was a good move for them to come in and get some fresh rubber.
Yeah, he said, this is an opportune time. Let me get in here and get me some tires.
Well, a couple other cars came to the pits right then. You see the number 51 of Bobby Gill. Your new leader will be the number 15 car of Carl Lung in the Austin Snacks Crackers car. We'll be back with more racing from Bristol in a moment.
Hello, Pizza Hut. How much is one of your new pizzas?
$8.99.
I want pepperoni. With pepperoni.
$8.99.
Sausage. Pepperoni and sausage.
$8.99.
Peppers. Pepperoni sausage. And peppers.
$8.99.
Mushroom.
$8.99. Mushrooms? That's $8.99.
Now you can get one of our totally new medium pizzas for just $8.99. Topped any way you want.
How much for a second?
Any medium pizza topped your way, just $8.99.
The new Firestone FT70C was tested at 50 miles per hour against the Goodyear Aquatred 2. The difference in the Firestone tire is Unity technology. The Firestone FT70C stopped an average of 12 feet shorter than Aquatred 2. Your results will vary, but that's a lot of feet. The difference is Unity technology in the new Firestone FT70C. Get a $25 certificate from the Sharper Image when you buy 4 Firestone FT70C tires.
Where do the best drivers go to get a head start?
Morning, Jeremy.
Morning, Jeff.
Kmart, because our car care department stocks only the most performance-driven batteries around, like the new Excite Nascar Select, the battery Jeremy Mayfield and Jeff Burton use in their race cars, the same one Mark Martin and 21 other teams put in their cars. So if you want the official battery of NASCAR in your car, you better get into your nearest Kmart. Chances are, there's one just around the corner. NASCAR Performance, Kmart low prices.
Track Facts are brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q gives you quality your car deserves.
Bristol Motor Speedway is the only racetrack that is shorter than 1 mile where they have to run a restrictor plate on the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series. Why? Well, because it's so doggone fast. The NASCAR officials make them put this 1-inch restrictor plate on the car. They have to put it between the carburetor and the manifold. The mechanics tell me that this takes away between 120 and 140 horsepower. The drivers say it seems like they're going through the corners as fast as they're going down the straightaway. And the real problem is, when they get into traffic, if they have to get out of the throttle at all, it takes them almost 2 laps to get back up to full speed.
Well, thank you, Larry. That's a good explanation of exactly what goes on here at Bristol with the restrictor plate on the engine.
I was talking to Mike Cope earlier before the race, and he said it makes it very difficult to drive here because you don't have the acceleration that you need to get out of trouble. If you get a car sideways, you can't nail the throttle to get yourself out of trouble. If you get in trouble in traffic, it's hard to get yourself out of trouble because we're running almost as fast to the corners as we are down the straightaway.
Absolutely. You're on board with the Porter Cable car of Wayne Anderson and the Grease Lightning machine of Ken Alexander. Looks like 1 lap to go, and boy, oh boy, can you believe it? In second place, Mike Cope.
We'll see. Now, he's got about 40 more laps on his tires than the rest of the guys that just pitted, so we'll see, see how much difference that's going to make. But now he's got the all-important track position. So if he can put a little distance between himself and the other guys, then maybe he can hold them off till the end.
Carl Long in the number 15 car is the leader. Cope is second. Then Scotty Walters. Hank Parker Jr. has moved up there. We see the 5 car moved in right behind those guys. And Jeff Foltz certainly not out of it tonight here in car number 30. Green flag is back out. And Carl Long with a good jump. And here comes Cope.
Mike Cope is extremely aggressive on these restarts, on the start of the race and obviously the restarts. He's got better tires. Right now, Carl Long has over 100 laps on his tires, so he shouldn't pose much of a problem for Mike Cope.
Does take a bit of patience here, though. Cope will have to work him over and see what line Carl Long is going to run here on Bristol Motor Speedway before he commits to making his move.
So Carl's doing a heck of a job right now holding him off, but right now his tires cooled off a little bit while we were on that caution car. When his tires get a little bit warm, he may slide up in the middle of the corner. That may allow Mike Cope to get underneath.
So Carl Long is your leader. Right now we'd like to take a look at our AutoZone race recap. Long the leader. He's led 6 of 108. There have been 2 lead changes. 4 caution flags for 27 laps here at Bristol. And really, that's not uncommon, is it?
No, it really isn't. I think they've run this race with 20-some cautions. There's at least a 500-lap race with 20 cautions.
Cope gets it sideways, coming out of the turn, and he is going to make the move this time right in the center of the corner. Coming out of turn number 4, Mike Cope is back in the lead.
I'll tell you that, to me, that was a heads-up move by Carl Long. He knows that Mike Cope is quicker than him. He said, hey, why do I want to race him, hold him up? Let him by. Maybe I can follow him, and we'll try to save my tires towards the end.
Well, and sooner or later, Cope was going to get impatient, come up and possibly give him a tap, which might have spun Carl Long. So you're right, a very heads-up move for that driver in the number 15 car.
Got Scott Walters in the 37th car all the way up to 3rd now. I believe Scott pitted when Mike Cope did, if I'm not mistaken.
Scotty Walters only in his 3rd start of 1997. He has had a dismal season. 24th at Homestead and finished 29th at Salem. Very uncharacteristic for this young driver from Owensboro, Kentucky.
Boy, it seems like there's a lot of race car drivers from Owensboro, Kentucky, doesn't it?
Yeah, then a few of them in the Winston Cup division. Great racing all around the track tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The big question is, how will Mike Cope's strategy work for him, as he has a long way to go to finish up tonight's race? We're at lap 116, and his tires are going to be very old towards the end. Now here's Ron Young in a battle with Gill in the number 51.
Also Monroe in the 48 car.
Yeah, Sean Monroe just ahead of those guys, and Monroe been having a great run tonight. Here comes Young, going to try it on the inside. Can he make it move? Well, he's going to have to wait until they get back out of the center of the turn to try that move.
The 48 car of Sean Monroe only changed 2 tires, while Ron Young took 4 tires. So Ron Young has better tires right now, but we'll see if he can make it work. It's very difficult to run pass at this racetrack, even if you do have better tires.
Well, Bobby Gill would like to make a pass in number 51. The Terminal Trucking car is running very well, right behind Ron Young and Sean Monroe. So these guys really having a great battle.
You see on the apron, that's Rich Bickle in the number 5 car. He had an excellent run and moved all the way up to 4th position, but looks like he's going in the pits. Look, he's going behind pit wall. So it's Terminal for the Terminal Trucking Chevrolet.
Bickle run a lot of races in this division. He's won 2 of them, but many times he was in position to win and just didn't pull it off. So it looks like his day is over tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, the All-Pro Series have an incredible schedule coming up ahead of them. They're on their way to Lanier, Georgia next on July 3rd, then to Volusia County Speedway July 5th. They'll be racing at Louisville, Kentucky coming up, then down to Pensacola's 5 Flag Speedway, and then to Topeka, Kansas on the road course. So these guys really with a lot of racing coming up in the next month and a half. Oh, we got a car on fire crashing over in turn number 2. That's the old El Paso car. The number 98 of Sean Studer has made hard contact, and Sean getting out of the race car, so he's okay. But that race car not nearly as good as the driver.
Stunned him a little bit, though. I'm awfully glad to see him get out of the car. They need to get some emergency crew over there and get that fire put out.
The fire truck has made it to the scene, but cars still circling around, and they cannot get across the racetrack to get up there to put the fire out. And folks, you can see just how steep the banking is here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Sean Studer is out of the car, holding on to the fence to get his position there. Fire crew on the scene now, and they will try to extinguish the flames here on the old El Paso car. Concord, North Carolina, the home for Sean. He made some serious contact.
Just about to get it extinguished right now. I think they had a little problem with their initial fire extinguisher.
Well, I'll tell you, Phil, it just goes to show you how hard you can hit the wall here at Bristol. This place can really tear up a race car.
It sure can. I've talked to guys that said they've never hit any harder than hitting at the wall here at Bristol.
On a half-mile racetrack. So the driver is okay. That is the good news, but the race car not in such great shape as Sean starts to head down the banking here. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up, but got out of the car on his own power, so that is a good sign. They'll put him in the ambulance, give him a ride to the infield care center. That is the rule. Anytime you make contact with the wall in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series, you'll go down, see the doctors, and make sure everything is okay.
I'll tell you, this is a heck of a break for Ron Young and the other guys that pitted on that lap 102 or 3 pit stop, because I looked at Ron Young. He was 2/3 of a lap behind the leader, Mike Cope, just in trying to work his way through traffic. So this is a big break for those guys.
So Carl Long will be right on the tail of Mike Cope if he decides not to pit. Then it's Scotty Walters, Jeff Foltz in car number 30. Take a look at the replay here from inside the Grease Lightning car.
Contact there between Hal Goodson and the Grease Lightning car of
Kenny Anderson. Boy, things happen in a hurry here, don't they? Well, Rich Bickle is out of the race, evidently, and he's standing by with Larry Rice.
Rich, you had a great run going. What happened?
Well, it seems like every time we come here in the All-Pro race, we start in the back and come to the front, and I was having a great time out there today. You know, terminal truck and car. We only do this a few times a year, and we broke the rain gears this time, but I'll tell you, we come up to fourth there, and they had a big jump on me in lap traffic on that restart. I was kind of sitting there waiting for him to, have another yellow, give him a run at it. I had a heck of a car, and too bad I didn't get to show it today.
You made an early pit stop. What was up for?
Track position. That's the biggest thing here with the restrictor plates on is you have a hard time getting track position. I figure if I pitted early, get up through there, let them guys burn their tires up trying to catch us. But it's just like I said, it's an unfortunate day. We had a great car and had a shot at winning this thing, but we'll never know.
Great run. He's still smiling, so it can't be all bad. Back upstairs.
Well, Rich Bickle is the leader of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Points race as we approach the halfway point of the season, and we'll be back with more of the Pep Boys 200 in a moment.
Engine builders are a different breed. A racing engine is a masterpiece. Anyone that has a Robert Yates engine under the hood, man, they feel like they're one up on anybody. Nothing more satisfying than having the engine do its job. He's the innovator, no question. He can make them fast and make them last.
Andretti and Yates rely on the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy right off the shelf. And also try Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze.
He's a real beauty, Robert.
Got a driver, Mario.
They come from all over for the most agonizing test of endurance motorsports has to offer. The heavyweight championship of off-road racing. The legendary Baja 1000. Mile after mile of unforgiving terrain that can send even the toughest truck to an early grave, which means it can really be murder on a battery. That's why more drivers who tackle the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
I'm Dale Jarrett.
I'm Jeff Gordon.
And I'm Dale Earnhardt.
We're here at Daytona, USA. Cool attraction, huh? Yeah, nothing beats this.
You're not leading.
I could squeeze through there.
Oh, no. He's such a kid. Let's go. The movie's starting.
Handsome fella, huh?
I just want a little elbow room.
What do you need?
Back on. Come on. Get this room there.
Trying to hog up the road?
Tonight's NASCAR All-Pro race is being brought to you by the more than 1,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Daytona, USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Still cleaning up the wreckage over in turn number 2 as Sean Studer hit the wall very hard. And I'll tell you what, Phil, when you're having a bad day here at Bristol, it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, they'd already initially put the fire out, and then the thing blazed back up and had to get the fire crew back over there to put the fire out again.
A lot of damage on the old El Paso Mexican-style foods, number 98, and they'll drag that down off the turn. They'll have to do a little cleanup over in turn number 2. Well, coming up on the Sunday night baseball game of the week from 3Com Park in San Francisco, California, it's the Dodgers versus the Giants. Barry Bonds and the Giants will try to make a move on all-star catcher Mike Piazza. The Dodgers and the Giants coming up at 8 o'clock Sunday night. Cleanup continues here, and you see the cars now driving through it. Take a look at a full field summary here, and you can see where your favorite driver is running. Mike Cope back in the lead right now. Carl Long, then Scotty Walters, Jeff Boltz.
Look at Hank Parker Jr. all the way up to 5th from a provisional start.
32nd to 5th. So Hank Parker in the Delco Voyager car having a great run tonight. Nipper also was in danger of going a lap down earlier. Wayne Anderson all the way up there to 7th place. And look at this. Hal Goodson in 25th, and he is 8 laps down. So that is going to be devastating to his 3rd place point standing when they came into the race tonight.
We're showing about 4 cars on that sheet out of the race, and another 6 here. So about 10 cars out of the race. Pretty high attrition rate for this series.
Yeah, and Stephen Christian, you see there, and Conrad Burr being shown in 34th and 35th position. And you talk about trouble in the points race. What a year for Stephen Christian. A winner last year on this series, but they just cannot get a break in 1997.
There's Ken Alexander in the pits. I'm not sure what sort of problem he may be having, Nate.
I called him Ken Anderson a little bit ago. I don't think he played football for the Bengals. I think he's a race car driver. But Ken Alexander in the Greased Lightning car. We got more racing coming your way from Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll get them back under green. Hopefully when we come back, more racing from the All-Pro Series in just a moment.
You say you like NASCAR? Well, strap into your seat, check your instrument panel, and punch the accelerator. Welcome to NASCAR Online, NASCAR's official site on the World Wide Web, where you can ride shotgun all the way to the checkered flag, get up to the minute news, track reports, and driver info. You even have access to the same stuff as Winston Cup officials. NASCAR Online, any more in depth than your computer would need lug nuts. NASCAR Online, start it up.
Is it getting hot? Too hot? Don't just sit there and suffer. Run to your phone and call this hotline now for Sears installed central air conditioning. Act now so you can get energy-efficient central air conditioning from Sears installed fast. Convenient financing is available, so don't sweat it. Call now and get immediate relief from the reliable professionals at Sears, the most trusted name around the house.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 8, only on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the Pep Boys 200. It has been a lengthy cleanup over in turn number 1 as Sean Studer made hard contact with the wall and his car caught on fire. They want to make sure that the racetrack is in good condition before we turn these cars back loose. Down on the pit road right now, the 00 car of David Reutemann heading back out right now. He is the leader in the Port City Racing Rookie of the Year standings. He's won Rookie of the Race 3 different times, but right now, after sitting on the pit road, he has gone 3 laps down, so trouble for David Reutemann. Well, we're going to try to get this thing back underway shortly. Mike Cope has made a tire strategy move here by pitting early in the race tonight. If you've just joined us, this is the NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series. Ray Dunlap along with Phil Parsons and Larry Rice bringing you the action tonight. 200 laps the distance. The pit road is open. I got the green flag out there.
It looked like they were black flagging some. It looked like Sean Monroe in the 48 car was getting black flagged. I'm not sure exactly why, but they had the black flag displayed on him. I'll tell you, this caution flag is going to really play into Mike Cope's hands. The longer this caution goes, He's got about 40 more laps on his tires than Ron Young and the other guys that pitted on the second caution, or the second caution that they started pitting. So the longer they can go on this caution flag, that's the less hard laps he's putting on his tires. So they'll be that much fresher when we get towards the end of the race.
Well, we've got all kinds of sports for you here on ESPN, and we will be tipping off the WNBA basketball season with a Western Conference matchup. It's the Los Angeles Sparks versus the Utah Stars. Lisa Leslie and the Los Angeles team will try to win as we get the WNBA season started Monday, 7:30 Eastern. Basketball, baseball, racing, we've got it all, and they now have the 98 car on the rollback. It's off the racetrack, and we should be ready to go back to racing here very shortly. We're being told that the black flag has been shown to the number 48 car of Sean Monroe from Malibu, California. Not sure what the problem is with Monroe, but evidently he will be heading to the pits. Monroe currently running 10th on the racetrack.
It looks like he's pulling up beside Bobby Gill, so he probably is getting ready to come to the pits. They've displayed the flag to him a couple times, so he needs to come on in the pits before they stop scoring. He's dropping to the bottom. He is coming in the pits.
So the surfer dude, folks, if you don't know why we call him that, he's a very interesting guy. Loves surfing about as much as he does racing. Got a California haircut, an earring, and the whole bit.
I'm not sure what the black flag was for, but we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, so he needs to get that work done. He was in the lead lap running in the top 10, so he's got an awfully good car.
And now the NASCAR officials tell me they are going to hold Sean Monroe. They have made a tire change here, and we're going to go to green flag racing this time by. So a terrible break for Sean Monroe, who sits in the pits after running 10th here, and they're going to give him a penalty hold here. The green flag will be coming out with Mike Cope as the leader. Here comes Cope off of turn number 4, and another great jump for the Penrose car.
Got the car along in second position still. Scott Walters in third. We'll see now if Ron Young can use those fresher tires and get through this traffic.
Well, Jeff Olson, the 30 car, is coming on pretty strong too, Phil, but boy, they're going to have to run fast to catch Cope as well as he's hooked up tonight here at Bristol.
That caution flag was really a blessing for Ron Young and the other guys because that gave them about a half a lap of track position.
See the number 24 car coming off of the pit road right now. That's Mike Harmon. And Harmon, although he doesn't have a win in 97, has had a great year. And he is second in the points right now, but he's back on pit road and smoking.
There's your 30 car, your fourth place car, a point leader. Jeff Bolts with Hank Parker Jr. running fifth right behind him.
The King Racing Chevrolet, Bolts from Milford, Ohio. He won earlier this season in Slim Jim competition at St. Augustine Speedway in the second event of 1997. Nipper Alsop and the 74 car having a battle for sixth right now with Wayne Anderson. Somewhat of a surprise to me, Phil, that Anderson not running a little bit better. He really loves this racetrack.
I would have expected Wayne Anderson to be a little bit closer to the front. But I tell you, he's not bad right now in seventh position. We've got Ron Young, our previous leader, right behind him, and Bobby Gill right behind Ron Young. So an excellent race right here. Here's your in-car camera for Wayne Anderson, the Porter Cable Power Tool car.
Anderson finished fourth here at Bristol last year in this 200-lap race, and he is trying to make a move right now on Nipper Alsop. He looks to the high side. Ron Young has come right up to the tail, and Alsop is trying to make a move on Sean Monroe.
That allowed Ron Young to drive up beside him, so Nipper Alsop squeezed him a little bit coming off of turn 4, got Wayne Anderson out of the throttle. That let Ron Young get underneath him, and there we see Ron Young on the inside of the 4 car making his move.
Well, folks, if you just joined us, Sean Monroe is 3 laps down after being assessed a penalty on pit road. So Monroe not racing for the lead with this group right here, although his car is very fast now that he has fresh tires.
You see Bobby Gill now moved on the inside of Wayne Anderson.
Anderson taking the high side here as Gill goes to the inside in the Terminal Trucking number 51. Gill, a 10-time winner in this series, hasn't seen the checkered flag in 1997. Can he do it tonight? Oh, Young makes a move to the inside on Alsop, and he's got the position.
Bobby Gill's trying to do the same thing, trying to move to the inside.
So Nipper will drop back just a skosh. Now lap car down to the inside there, the number 96 of Dan Matthews. And we've got trouble on the backstretch as the 24 car of Mike Harmon has made contact with Chad Nolting. And Harmon's car slammed into the wall, slides backwards, and he is in trouble. And there is damage on Mike Cope's right front.
It's pretty considerable damage, too.
Unbelievable. Cope with the strongest race car tonight, all night here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and that cannot be good for Mike Cope in the Penrose Chevrolet.
Let's take a look at it and see what happened. There you see Mike Cope in the middle of your screen here. Here's Mike Harmon going on the outside of the 10 car.
Chad Nolting to the inside. Harmon's car just gets a little bit loose, and Cope comes up, gives him a tap, and both of those cars, front end first, into the backstretch wall. Carl Long just barely got by the number 24 of Harmon.
Tough wreck. Here's another view of it. Looks like Mike Cope just got in the back of him a little bit. The thing is, when Mike Harmon was going to go on the outside of the 10 car, that slows him down a little bit because the outside groove was a little bit slower. Mike Cope probably came up on him a little bit too quick. He sure didn't do it intentionally, didn't want to hit him because now he's got damage. I don't know if he's going to pit or not. He has some pretty considerable damage. He may need to come and look at it, but he sure doesn't want to give up the track position. So he's trying to decide now what to do. He's having a spotter that's positioned over on the backstretch look at the car and see if maybe the tire, looks like the tire won't rub anything, but I don't know if NASCAR's already given the black flag. So Mike Cope has no choice. He's got to come into pits and pull the sheet metal away. Let's go down to Larry Rice. He's in the leader's pits.
David, tell us what's going on.
Well, he was trying to pass the 24 car, and he just slid up in front of him and tore the nose of the right side up. They're going to make us bring it in, which I think's a pretty bad deal. But this Penrose Mannheim Chevrolet has run great all day. We've dominated this race as far as I'm concerned, and it's just a bad break for us. We were hoping to sneak in here and win this thing.
You think you can stay out with the damage and not come in, correct?
Well, they won't. They won't let us. They're making us come in.
Okay, they're going to have to come in and check out the damage, and that's going to give them a very bad track position back upstairs.
Well, in all fairness, Ray, he cannot stay on the racetrack with a sheet metal flapping like that. It could cause a dangerous situation. So NASCAR really is doing what they had to do. The thing is the crew chief cannot see the right side of the car from where he is, but once he comes in, they'll pull the sheet metal off, maybe put a little bungee cord to hold the nose in place and get back out. I know it's going to cost him a lot of track position, but NASCAR cannot allow a car to stay on the racetrack in an unsafe manner, and that obviously was.
Oh, it was a good call. If he'd have got racing again and somebody rubbed against him, that piece may have come off and caused another car to have problems. So they've got the repairs made at least this time by, and Mike Cope will head back out onto the racetrack. We saw him going around. Al Goodson and Mike Harmon with a lot of damage. Again, we're talking about all these drivers who are in the season-long points chase, and many of them having a tough night tonight. So your new leader will be the 15 car of Carl Long once again. We'll be back with Green Flag Racing from the Pep Boys 200 here at Bristol.
Since the Hendrick Racing team started using Quaker State, they finished 1-2 in the 96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona. And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State, the quality the Hendrick Racing team demands, the quality your car deserves.
We made the first battery to start the automobile, the first to handle the moon's sub-zero temperatures, and today, the extreme demands of professional racing. Now, Exide's put all this experience into a battery so advanced, it's the official battery of NASCAR. Introducing the Exide NASCAR Select. It's specially designed and built to combat vibration and extreme temperature. So it's built to survive those grueling trips you'll be taking. The Exide NASCAR Select, making history again.
Take everything you ever knew about cruiser motorcycles, everything you ever learned from your older brother, your friends, biker movies, and throw it out. Because the Marauder is a cruiser like no other, one only a high-performance company could have built. The Suzuki Marauder. It's time to move on.
Time to move on to this new leather jacket, free with every Marauder for a limited time.
What are we doing after the game?
Winaldo,
ordered the MLS ESPN shootout.
That's up to 90 extra games. Games you can't see any other way.
When Aldo's plays tonight,
I'll bring chips.
The 97 MLS ESPN shootout, $69 up to 90 extra regular season and playoff games from all over the country. Call your cable operator, DirecTV.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. The Pep Boys 200 is at lap 155. So 40 laps to go, 45 laps I should say, and Carl Long is the leader in car number 15, the Austin Snack Crackers car. That's a Chevrolet. Now you see David Rudiman on the inside, a lap down, but look at Scott Walters in the Timberwolf car right on the bumper of Carl Long. And we're ready to go back to green flag racing. The green is out, the crowd is up, and here we go.
Mike Cope is back in 12th position now, 11th position actually, so we'll see how close he can get to the front.
And folks, take a look at the 30 car there on the outside, the silver car. That is Jeff Bolts, and he is the point leader. Started 17th tonight and has moved up to 3rd position on the racetrack.
He's done a great job. Hank Parker Jr. has done a great job to move up to 4th position. We've got Ron Young, a former leader now, up to 5th position.
Bolts has really only had one bad race in 1997. That was at Kenley, North Carolina. He finished 29th there, but the rest of the time, he's been in the top 10, and that's the way you win a championship. And he's in the top 5 tonight. We'll see if he can go up and make a move on Scotty Walters or Carl Long.
There's a 48 car, Sean Monroe, who had some trouble. Here's Scott Walters right on the back bumper.
Timberwolf chasing down the Animal Crackers car there. So Carl Long, you know, Phil, we talked about Long a little bit earlier as he backed off and let the leader go back by, which was Mike Cope. That was a pretty good move, wasn't it?
It really was, and look where he finds himself, right here in the lead with Mike Cope's trouble. I'll tell you, Ron Young is up to 5th position. He's doing a heck of a job trying to get by Hank Parker Jr. He has pressured tires, but Hank Parker Jr. is doing a good job so far holding them on.
The 15 car, Carl Long is your leader here. Being chased by Scotty Walters. They get around some lap traffic there at an ideal spot as they go into the turn. And here comes a challenge. Walters took a look to the inside, but could not make it work coming off of turn 2.
Scott Walters has an awfully good car right now. It looks like he's got a better car than Carl Long if he can get a little run on him. Here we have Hank Parker Jr., Ron Young, 4th and 5th position. Ron Young has pressure tires. He's been all over Hank Jr. trying to get by him, but Hank Jr.'s done a good job holding him off.
Delco Voyager, the sponsor on Hank Parker Jr.'s car, and here comes Ron Young making a move on him. Look at that, right up on his back bumper down the front straightaway, and Ron Young looks to the inside in the center of turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. I think he's going to get it.
He's going to get him this time. Yeah, Hank Parker Jr. was wise. He just moved over, let him go. He was up beside him. He had the preferred line. Let him go and try to follow him. Try to follow him to the front.
Great move by Ron Young, and heads up driving by Hank Parker Jr., who, as you said, has a bit older tires on that race car. So he is just trying to hold his position, and Ron Young coming back up now.
At this point, Ron Young cannot afford to be too patient because he's only got about 35 laps to go. Right now, Carl Long is over a straightaway ahead of him, along with Scott Walters and the 30 car of Jeff Bolts. So Ron Young cannot be patient. He's got to get by these guys and get to the front.
Now, folks, Derek Gilchrist just moved down to the inside to let him go. He is many laps down, but I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with this young driver. Throughout the winter, he lost 80 pounds to try to get into better shape. And he said, boy, I'm just so much of a better driver now. I feel better. And basically, he said he just quit eating fried food, and he is in a lot better shape. And tonight, a tough break for Gilchrist. But boy, look at Carl in the number 15 car. He is holding his position in front of Scotty Walters.
It almost looks like the longer they go, the better Carl's car gets. Right after the restart, Scott Walters' car was all over him, but it looks like now that Carl Long can pull out a little bit of it.
Well, there have been 7 different winners in 1997 in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series. We wanted to know, will there be an 8th tonight? Well, if any of these drivers up front are able to hold on, there certainly will be. We thought it might be Mike Cope, but could it be Scotty Walters or Carl Long? An 8th different winner in 1997. Boy, what a very competitive series.
Ron Young right now has the fastest car on the racetrack, but I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time. They're inside 30 laps to go. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to catch the leader.
So he and Jeff Bolts really in the same situation. They've got a long way to go to get up front here. Now, patience again becomes a virtue. We're getting into the late stages of this race. Less than 30 laps to go. When does Scotty Walters need to make his move, Phil?
I'd say he's doing all he can do right now. He'd like to get by him at any moment, because if he can get by him and put a little distance between him and Ron Young, then he's got a better shot at winning this race.
Hank Parker started all the way back in 32nd and moved up to 5th. Take a look at Billy Bigley Jr. in the Budweiser car, coming from 21st to 10th. Has not been a factor tonight at the front of the field, but having a very strong run with another top 10. Saw Mike Cope back there, and he has got a long way to go, Phil. I think at this point, his chances really, a caution right now is about the only thing that would help Cope, and I'm wondering if maybe that damage to his car didn't hurt him aerodynamically.
I think it probably did, because you really rely on the front end of these cars for downforce, and as much damage as he has on the front, he has to, I would imagine that where his car is developed to push now, because he does not have the front downforce that he needs and that you count on, because you set your car up with all the sheet metal intact, with the nose the way it is, and when you lose that front downforce, as you can see on the screen, well, then that just creates a push, and a push here is devastating.
I really thought that Cope might be able to come back through the field after they made that pit stop, but he has not changed position on the racetrack. So Mike Cope was the early leader here. Damage on his race car has put him out, so Carl Long and Scotty Walters are going to fight it out, and we'll be back with more racing from Bristol and NASCAR's All-Pro Series.
I've got 3 vehicles that I've got it in. Motorcycles are performance. Split fire spark plugs are performance.
Really delivered the power that I was looking for.
Just great.
Definitely just a lot better plug. If it doesn't meet your expectations, you get your money back.
Leatherman tool tail, number 12. Leatherman, one tool, a couple thousand uses.
There's a big cover-up performed by millions of people every day. People who have ugly nail fungus. It turns nails' colors, makes them thick or brittle. But now you may be able to go barefoot without embarrassment. With more beautiful nails, healthier, clearer nails. You see, nail fungus lives deep under the nail at the base. That's why it's so hard to get rid of. But by calling this number now, you'll receive a free video and learn how it may be possible to get beautiful, healthy nails back. Because today, your doctor has effective treatments that attack the fungus right where it lives. So call to uncover the truth about nail fungus and get your free video on nail care and treatments. The sooner you call, the sooner you may be able to go barefoot without embarrassment.
ESPN News. Peterson, he doesn't even know what ESPN is. I was like, you watch ESPN News? He was like, what? He doesn't even know what ESPN stands for. ESPN stands for it's like sports in Spanish, right?
Welcome back to the Pep Boys 200. Ray Dunlap, Phil Parsons, and Larry Rice bringing you the action. We are inside, almost close to 20 laps to go now here in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series. And what a great battle we have here as Scotty Walters is trying every way on the racetrack to make a move on Carl Long. And now lap traffic will again be a factor.
Scott Walters just licks his chops when he sees these lap cars, because it's so treacherous to try to pass these lap cars that he says, well, maybe I can get him hung on the outside and get a run on the inside. But so far, Carl Long has done an excellent job of keeping him behind him.
Scott Sutherland just went another lap down, somewhat of a surprise tonight, a former winner in 1997. He won at Kenly, North Carolina, Southern National Speedway earlier this year, but having a tough run tonight. 20 laps to go.
Bobby Gill in the 51 car has been able to get by Hank Jr. in the 86 car. So Bobby Gill is now up to 4th position. Hank Parker Jr. back to 5th.
Not Bo Cephas. We're talking about Hank Parker Jr. But Parker having a great run tonight. Wayne Anderson right on the tail of Hank Parker Jr. trying to make the move there. And here we are back with the leaders. Carl Long. There's that battle we were talking about. A battle for 6th position as Wayne Anderson is right up on Hank Parker Jr. There's the car of the Porter Cable Power Tool. Look at this line. Hank Parker Jr.'s car is getting very loose, isn't he?
He's dominating the racetrack. He's letting the car drift up in the center of the corner, getting it turned and trying to drive straight off the corner. If he can do that, that's a good line. But if Wayne Anderson can duck his nose underneath him in the middle of the corner while he drifts up, then he'll have position coming off the corner.
A battle for sixth position there. Anderson going way high in the center of the turn that time. Hank Parker Jr. having a great run here in the Delco Voyagers race car. Another top 5 finish will really help him in the points chase. Currently, he was 9th coming into the race tonight. Back up front, Scotty Walters in the Timberwolf number 37. Now it appears he has dropped back a couple of car lengths. Go down to Larry Rice down in the pit area.
I'm standing here with Billy Chandler. Billy, what's he saying to you on the radio?
Well, I said the car's pretty good right now. We're just going to ride it out.
Strategy's just to do the same thing you're doing right now?
What?
I say your strategy just to do the same thing you're doing right now?
Yeah. But you got a good car. We hope we get this win. We need it real bad.
They need the win. So far, so good. 13 laps to go. Back upstairs.
Well, they do need a win, no doubt about that. This season has been a roller coaster ride for them. Their best finish of the year was 10th at St. Augustine, so what a great move that would be to go from 10th all the way to the win. Carl Long in car number 15. The Austin Snack Cracker Chevrolet. Can he hold on for the win?
Since the Hendrick Racing Team started using Quaker State, they finished 1-2 in the 96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona. And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State, the quality the Hendrick Racing Team demands, the quality your car.
Just run, man. We're regular guys. As soon as we do this, we're criminals. People get so freaked out.
You have to do that here? You crazy people! Get on the road, man!
I used to run. When I was 8, she almost hit that lady.
Yeah, there's runners everywhere. Good runners, too. And they all go through the same thing. Runners aren't criminals. Running's not a crime. I mean, I want to run. I just want to run.
The 8th event of 1997 is the Pep Boys 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are inside 10 laps to go. Carl Long in the number 15 car is your leader, but he is getting a great challenge from Scotty Walters in the number 37 car.
Now Walters can run up on him, then he'll get a tough break in traffic, lose a little bit of ground, but then he runs back up on him. Carl Long, that's the advantage he has, is he gets to the traffic first. He can pick and wait and choose his way by, but you never know when someone's going to hang him out, and Scotty Walters could drive up underneath.
And boy, Phil, that's one of the reasons why spotters are so important here at Bristol, to keep the driver alert, because you're in the turns and fighting the race car so much that spotters can tell you what's coming up for you.
It's hard to imagine how difficult it is to see around the corner, because you're actually almost looking up. You look out of the left top corner of the windshield. That's where you look when you race here, and you cannot see all the way around the corner. When you go in turn 1, we have a caution flag, caution on the racetrack.
Yellow is out. We saw Carl Long waving there to try to tell the drivers right behind him to slow up. And boy, now 7 laps to go in this race, and the big question is, do any of these cars that are running in the lead lap head for the pits, or do they hold their position and try to race for the victory?
Well, I don't think we'll see any of them come in the pits, because track position is too important. They're not going to give that up.
Long the leader, Scotty Walters running second. Ron Young has moved up to third in the 4 car. Jeff Foltz in the number 30 is fourth, and fifth is the number 51 of Bobby Gill.
We've got Hank Parker Jr. back in 6th, Wayne Anderson in 7th.
Well, we saw an official run up on the racetrack to grab a piece of debris over in turn number 3, so that was the reason for this 7th yellow of the night here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, it's going to be a shootout. Can Carl Long hold on, or will it be Scotty Walters or Ron Young? We'll find out when we come back.
Do you have trouble seeing clearly when it rains? Is the glare from headlights unbearable? Well, it's not your wipers, it's your windshield. Introducing the all-clear Vision Blade from STP. Now you can have clear vision in the harshest weather. Vision Blade only needs to be applied about once every 6 months. It's that easy. Watch. This muddy water sticks to the glass on the untreated side of this windshield. But on the Vision Blade side, the dirt and grime just sheets away. Your view remains clear without even using your wipers. It's amazing. Vision Blade forms an invisible barrier that virtually eliminates glare from headlights. Just look at the difference. Call today and get Vision Blade from STP. Now just $14.95. So what are you waiting for? Call now.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-713-7711 or send $14.95 plus $4.95 shipping to the address on your screen. Ask about our special offer. For faster delivery, call 1-800-713-7711.
The X Games continue with day 2. Check out some bicycle stunt, barefoot jumping, and inline skating. These guys really wail. The X Games, tomorrow at 8:30, only on ESPN2. Yahoo!
A big shootout coming your way in the Pep Boys 200. Carl Long, the leader. Scotty Walters running second. Does he have anything for it? Could it be Ron Young? Well, folks, the X Games are back here on ESPN and ESPN2. Tomorrow at 8:30, it's the bikes and water sports coming up. Then inline and the X Venture. 11 different events in the 1997 X Games from San Diego.
1 lap to go till the restart. Now we're inside the 10 laps to go in the race window. That means that the lead lap cars will start single file at the front of the field. So we're going to have all the leaders nose to tail for this restart. There'll be 3 laps to go when they take the green flag.
This race is going to end up a little bit like the street luge, isn't it? Fast, furious, and in a hurry. Larry Rice is standing by with the crew chief. Take it away, Larry.
Jason Walters, has Scott got anything left for him with 3 laps to go?
I don't know. The Timberwolf Monte Carlo is running pretty good. Seem to be down on motor just a little bit. They're getting us off the corner. I think we're better. If we can get in front of them, we can get away from them. We just don't know if we got enough to get by them. We'll find out here in the last couple laps.
Well, he doesn't sound real optimistic, but I think they're happy to be running second right now.
So Jason Walters thinks they're down a little bit on horsepower, and that may be the case because we haven't seen him really give any super challenge to the 15 car.
Now they're going to give him 1 to go. They waved off that restart. They're going to give him 1 to go. We've got Ron Young now with fresher tires than the rest of them in 3rd position. Can he make a move in the last 2 laps?
So Ron Young and the 30 car of Jeff Foltz, Bobby Gill, they're all in position here. And folks, we have seen these races come down to some wild finishes over the year. We'll have a green-white checker here as we are under the 7th caution of the night. It is going to be a shootout.
Carl Young needs to get a good restart right now. He needs to get on that thing back. He needs to fudge, get a little bit early, and try to get himself 5-6 car lengths to hold him off for 2 laps.
Well, look at this. Scotty Walters isn't going to let him get away. He takes a look to the outside on the gas right now. The green flag comes out, and here comes Carl Long down the front straightaway. Jeff Foltz looks to the outside of the 4 car of Ron Young. We got trouble over in turn number 3 and 4 as Billy Bigley and the Budweiser car has crashed, so the yellow is back out. And again, debris all over the racetrack over there, so trouble on the restart as Bigley found himself in trouble, but he stays ahead of the leader right here and will remain on the lead lap even though there's damage to the race car. Told you it was going to be wild.
We thought it was going to be wild at the front of the pack.
Right.
But I'm assuming they did not give the white flag that time, so I'm assuming that there'll be a green-white checker no matter what happens.
Correct, yeah. They will go back to green-white checker. They always finish that way. The 8th caution of the day on lap 199 for a spin from Billy Bigley Jr. in car number 28, the Budweiser Chevrolet 28, I can say that. So the 15 car of Carl Long is the leader. We're going to have another restart, but first of all, they got to clean up the racetrack.
We have a little debris from Billy Bigley's car over there in turn 3 and 4. So the guys are on the spot right now. They're going to get it cleaned up. It should be just a couple minutes till we get back ready to go. But, the scoreboard right now is showing 200 laps, and obviously the race is not over. So I would assume we have 2 laps to go.
So the car is going very slowly through the turn over there so that the officials can get out there and clean up that debris so we can have that green-white-checkered finish. A couple of our in-car cameras having great runs tonight. We saw Larry Raines there in the number 14 car. He is currently running in 8th position, still on the lead lap. There's Larry's Janny King race car, and right ahead of him is the Porter Cable car. That's Wayne Anderson.
Yeah, the in-car cameras can keep an eye on each other this way. There's Wayne Anderson's car looking out at Hank Parker Jr.'s car in 6th position.
So the flagman is giving them 1 to go this time by. The racetrack is clean. 200 laps are in the books, but folks, we got to have a green-white-checkered finish here. Carl Long, all the crew has their fingers crossed down here. They said they really need a win badly. 1 lap to go, and we'll be back underway. Good-looking race car for Carl Long from Roxborough, North Carolina. Chevrolet Monte Carlo at the front. Then it's Scotty Walters in the number 37 car. Ron Young is 4th, and Jeff Bolts.
You know, this green-white checker sure makes it interesting for the race fans, but I'm not sure as a competitor. I guess it depends on where I'm running. If I'm running second white right now, I want a green-white checker finish, but if I'm leading, I sure don't. Just give me this race under caution.
Yeah.
We'll worry about the next one.
I like it this way. We're going to go back to racing. The pace car dips off at turn number 4, and here we go. Jeff Bolts once again taking a look to the high side of Ron Young. They're all on the gas down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go.
Ron Young has not got a very good restart the last 2 times, so that may not give him enough time to get back towards the front.
Scotty Walters taking a look to the inside in the Timberwolf number 37. Can he make the pass? White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Will we have an 8th different winner in 1997? Carl Long down the back straightaway. Scotty Walters right up to his back bumper, but no! Long is going to hold on and pick up the win tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 4th time we have raced at Bristol and the 4th different winner in a very competitive NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series.
Okay, Carl Long, the move he made when he let Mike Cope go by earlier in the race may have been a move that could have won him the race. Wayne Anderson was able to get by Hank Parker Jr. on the last lap, so that put him up in 6th position with Hank Parker Jr. in 7th.
I'm wondering if Carl Long knows the way to victory lane here. He is going to come out and do a Polish victory lap here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Sure, it's a big, big win for Carl Long right here.
First career win for Carl Long in the number 15 car from Roxborough, North Carolina. Up to the front straightaway.
If we can find Larry Rice down there, if he's with his crew, Larry, tell him victory lane's over there, but over by turn 3 and 4 there by the gas pumps.
Well, a lot of the racetracks they go to, Phil, don't have a real victory lane, so they just pull up to the start-finish line and do the interviews there.
I think that's what Carl's going to do right now, but there's people waiting for him in victory lane.
Yeah, all the photographers are over there, Carl. We'll get some help down there and tell them the way to go. Yeah, the crew's there. All they got to do is get the race car there.
Larry, help him out and tell him to tell their driver that the victory lane's over there in turn 3 and 4.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Carl Long says, man, I couldn't be happier. Now all they got to do is give him a road map. We're going to take a break here from Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll come back and talk to the winner. Lots more from the Pep Boys 200 after this.
Porter cable belt sanders are used by the world's foremost woodworkers. Our routers are found in fine cabinet shops everywhere. The frame saw is the lightest, most powerful circular saw available, and our cordless drills have power to spare. Fact is, Porter cable builds the perfect tool for any woodworking project. And some projects that hardly involve wood at all. Porter cable power tools when you're truly passionate about your work.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Since the Hendrick Racing Team started using Quaker State, they finished 1-2 in the 96 Winston Cup standings. Finished 1-2-3 this year at Daytona, And they've won at Rockingham, Bristol, Martinsville, and Charlotte. Which makes you wonder, is it in their blood or in their engines? Quaker State. The quality the Hendrick Racing Team demands. The quality your car deserves.
Tonight's Pep Boys 200 has been brought to you by Quaker State, the quality your car deserves. Welcome back to Thunder Valley and the Pep Boys 200. Well, Carl Long has found his way down to victory lane right now. Take a look at the unofficial results. Long started 15th in car 15, moved all the way to his first career win. Scotty Walters started 10th, goes up to 2nd. Ron Young in the 4-car will finish in 3rd position. Jeff Foltz, the points leader, with a 4th place finish.
We see on back here some cars that had some trouble. We see Hal Goodson all the way back in 19th position. That's really going to hurt him in the points. Also, Mike Harmon was back in the high 20s.
Yeah, so the 2nd and 3rd place drivers in the points having trouble tonight here at Bristol. Well, Larry Rice is caught up with our winner.
Well, Carl, you had a little trouble finding victory lane, but you didn't have any trouble finding your way around that racetrack. Great run.
It was. I had a car that stayed hooked up. We elected not to make a pit stop, stay out the whole time, and that pit strategy was what got us in the front. Mike Cope seemed to have a pretty good car. I thought one time there we was fixing to make a new combination of Penrose sausage and Cracker Crunch. I don't know what would have come up with that, but we had good luck with us. And, man, I really would like to thank the people at Austin Foods that made this possible for me. I've been a local racer like most of the rest of y'all, and this is my first chance at going on a touring series, and I'm just pleased that Austin Foods is behind me. So go out and buy your Austin crackers and tell them you support racing.
Well, I'll tell you what. Did the tires go away? I mean, you ran 200 laps. Didn't they go away near the end?
They did. The car kept tightening up, and we'd get a caution, and they would cool off, and it would stick good for about 10, 12 more laps. And right there at the end, I was getting to wonder, and started running a little lower on the track, hooking the asphalt, making the car turn and get off the corner. And that last caution, the car hooked right on back down with the sprint.
How nervous were you, though, when that yellow came out, when you had victory in sight?
You don't know. We've had so much problems this year finishing races. This is only the 2nd race I finished so far, so it was a good finish.
Whose call was it for no pit stops? Mike Chandler, your pit crew chief?
Billy Chandler and Tommy Pereira. All the guys on the crew was a group decision. They worked together on this thing, and it worked out.
Well, he's a happy guy. 10th was his best finish until today. Now he's got the big one in his hat, and it came at Bristol. Back upstairs.
A win at the Big B. What a great job for Carl Young. Lots more from the Pep Boys 200 when we come back. Don't go away, folks. We got lots to bring you.
You think about your car a lot. You have grease under your fingernails. You can name all the pro drivers and the cars they drive. You have all the car stuff a guy could want, and you know where to go if you don't. True Value, official hardware store of NASCAR, IROC, and garages everywhere. So hey, get this Armor All trigger spray for only $5.99 or Black Magic tire dressing for just $3.99.
I've got 3 vehicles that I've got it in. Motorcycles are performance. Split fire spark plugs are performance.
Really delivered the power that I was looking for.
Just great.
Definitely just a lot better plug. If it doesn't meet your expectations, you get your money back.
ESPN News. Peterson, he doesn't even know what ESPN is. I was like, you watch ESPN News? He was like, what? He doesn't even know what ESPN stands for. ESPN stands for it's like sports in Spanish, right?
And welcome back to the Pep Boys 200. The celebration continues down in victory lane as Carl Long has won his first career NASCAR Slim Jim All-Pro Series race. Pretty good run, wasn't it, Phil?
It sure was. Carl Long came in the race in 19th position points. He's going to make a big jump. Ron Young may move all the way up to 2nd or 3rd. Hank Parker Jr. is going to move up. So a great run by a lot of guys.
So the points will have a big shake-up. And tomorrow afternoon here on ESPN, you can see the Budweiser G.I. Joe 200, the 9th race of the 1997 kart racing at 5 p.m. Coming up next here on ESPN2, it's Arena Football. Carl Long, the winner tonight, right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. For Phil Parsons and Larry Rice, I'm Ray Dunlap saying so long, everybody. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.